is Amber and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're gonna do my BookCon haul. I actually do not have a vlog from BookCon. I basically got bits of footage and then I realized that BookCon was too hectic to try to vlog, and so I part of the way through just kind of stopped vlogging. So there's no BookCon vlog. I kind of decided before BookCon was over that I was done vlogging. So here is all the books that I got during BookCon. If I have a little story, I will tell a little story. So let's get started. The first book that I got during BookCon was actually not during BookCon, but it's actually during Chapter Kate's meetup. This book was actually put there by Beautiful Bookish Bethany, and it is called The Dinosaur Artist. It is about the quest for the Earth's ultimate trophy, and which is obviously dinosaur bones. This book definitely fit what I was wearing that day, which was my dinosaur dress. So I decided to take this one home with me kind of as my souvenir from the event because, well, I was wearing my dinosaur dress and it was about dinosaurs. The first thing I got while I was at BookCon was my Frankly in Love t-shirt. It is for obviously the Frankly in Love book that's coming up by David Yoon. On the back it just says Team Yoon at the booth when these were being handed out, and I actually got to see his wife Nicola Yoon on a panel later in that day, so it was really cool to see both him and his wife in the same day. I didn't get the ticket to get the book, however I did get the shirt, so that was pretty cool either way. So it was pretty exciting to at least get the shirt. The first book that I actually got at BookCon is actually a finished copy that doesn't actually come out until July, and Under the Dust Jacket is gorgeous. And this book is called The Storm Crow. It is a debut novel about a tropical kingdom where elemental crows are a part of everyday life until the kingdom is under attack. I picked up Truly Madly Royally by Debbie Regatta. This was a book that I got in the line because my friend Alana first thing in the morning was like, this is a book that was on my list, and I said, hey, that sounded familiar, and it had been something that I had also been interested in. It's about a girl who is in a summer program, and she kind of starts having feelings for this guy who turns out to be a literal prince. In the same line as Truly Madly Royally was Tell Me Everything, and the tagline for this was Your Secret's Safe Until It's Not. One of my prized possessions of BookCon was definitely Wicked As You Wish by Rin Chupeco. If you're new to my channel, Rin Chupeco is one of my favorite authors. She wrote the Bone Witch trilogy, which I am one book away from finishing, and I've kind of been slowly chipping my way through it, and I got a copy of her work that comes out next March. I was actually a couple away from the cutoff in the line. Basically, they had more copies of the second book that I'm going to talk about for this line. Basically, how BookCon works is there's a certain number of tickets and then there's the wait line, and I was the first person in the wait line, and the first 4 in the wait line got a copy of this, and I was super excited because this was one of my most anticipated books. When I realized it was at BookCon, I wanted it more than anything, and I got to get it, and I'm so excited to get to read one of my favorite authors' books, and I'm so excited. This one is a modern day fairy tale retelling, and it involves the Snow Queen. And the other book in that line was Kingdoms of Exile. This is a fantasy romance that involves assassins, and I'm looking forward to this one as well. Obviously, I was more excited for the Rin Chupeco arc. However, this one definitely sounds super up my alley because I do love a good assassin story, and I do love me a good romance. Like I said, after that, me and my partner went to the panel that Ian Colfer was on, and Nicola Yoon, and it was really interesting hearing how adaptations worked and what, you know, they were willing to sacrifice for adaptations, and it was a really interesting panel. We also went to the Booksplosion panel, and it was a really entertaining time. And then we got dinner, and it was a good time, and I was definitely exhausted on day one. Definitely wasn't as hardcore on my art game, but I was definitely, you know, more relaxed, but I wanted to try, you know, I understood how the thing worked a bit more, if that makes sense. So the first book that I got on day 2 was technically You Started It. This book is entirely in text message, and it's about a girl who gets a text message from a guy, and you think you should know who it was from, but there's 2 guys in her school with the same name, and she doesn't know which one she's talking to, and so it's basically the story about that. Next I got Girls of Storm and Shadow by Natasha Nong. This was everybody's like anticipated book. This one you got if you had the correct password. It was in like a surprise drop. And this is the anticipated sequel to Girls of Paper and Fire. I really enjoyed Girls of Paper and Fire when I read it a couple months back. I ended up giving the first book 4 stars. The ending was a little bit, you know, like, where are we going with this? So I'm super excited to get to this one. I cannot wait to see where we go. Next I got Dear Sweet Pea by Julie Murphy. This is her first middle grade novel, and this is about a girl named Patricia whose parents get divorced and decide to live on the same street in order to not disrupt her life. The thing I got was actually this poster of Tunnel of Bones. I actually walked past a line and it was actually for this poster, and I actually got to meet Victoria Schwab, and I actually got to tell her that Dylan Murphy and I used City of Ghosts for one of our first book club books. And the last book I got during BookCon is actually my book with the messiest story. Basically the line was the messiest and the most disorganized. However, I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about the books I got. So I ended up getting American Royals by Katharine McGee. We actually got coffee if you got a copy. There were 200 copies total. And this one is about what if when Alexander Hamilton recommended that George Washington became the monarch of the Americas, that actually happened, and it follows his descendants. And basically it's America with a monarchy. I'm super looking forward to this. She was absolutely lovely. She complimented my space dress, which was really cool. And we talked about space books for a second. So I'm looking forward to this one. So those are all of the books that I ended up getting during BookCon. Did you get a BookCon? Which one of these books do you think I should definitely prioritize? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like what you saw here today, be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a nice day.